My name is Bill RUPLE. I started making knives back in 1988 as a hobby, and I was farming peanuts in South Texas with my dad at the time, and peanut farming got to where it just wasn't profitable anymore, so I began full-time knife making in 2002. It's been quite a journey. I started doing knife shows in the early 90s, and mainly in the winter months when the farming was not active, and realized that I enjoyed knife shows, and was asked to teach by Johnny Stout and Harvey Dean at their hammer inn, and that's where I kind of discovered my love of teaching, and so that continues to this day.
You teach classes at your shop?
I used to do a lot of that. Now that I'm getting to be older, it's getting more difficult to do that, but if somebody wants to drop by for an afternoon or a morning or something, I'm always glad to help them out and do what I can that way. But I rarely do formal classes other than teaching at hammer inns.
But you have taught a bunch of people in the past.
Oh yes, I've probably had an influence in hundreds of slip joint makers around the globe. I've had people from several countries in my shop. Recently, I taught a man from Australia, Bruce Barnett, and to do slip joints, and he took that knowledge back to Australia, and now he's founded the slip joint movement there. And so it's been very rewarding for me to know that I've had a hand in that.
That's great. And what would you figure multi-blade slip joint makers, maybe in America, is there a small group, a big group?
I'd say the multi-blade makers, it's a small group. There's a lot of slip joint makers, but when it comes to multi-blade knives, you know, I wouldn't want to put a number on that, but I'd say it's probably under 20, 25 people doing that in the United States.
Yeah.
Maybe less than that.
So you're a rare breed for sure.
Well, you know, it's my passion, you know, to do that thing. And most of the guys that do the multi-blades, it is their passion. My friend Tom Ploppert was here helping me teach yesterday, and Tom's got that same fire for multi-blade knives. And there are quite a few out there. It's just really difficult for me to offhand put a number on that, but they're rare. There's a lot of people building single blade, double blade trappers, but when it comes to the multi-blades where you have blades on both ends of the knife, that cuts it down considerably.
So you were saying probably the key to get it started is to get the tang right, huh?
Yeah, the key to any slip joint is in the tang. You know, and if at these hammer ends, it's hard to teach somebody in a couple of hours how to build a knife. But if I can give them a foundation of how to set the tang and the spring up, then I've got them on the right path, got them started in the right direction.
Okay. And you see any changes in the future for you?
Yeah, I'm be 72 next week, so things are changing daily, it seems like. But I tend to, you know, I've never chased trends as far as the slip joint knives. I started doing that 35 years ago, and I'm still doing that today. And I have no plans to change that. But as I get older, you know, I tell my wife I want them to find me dead under a running grinder. I don't want to ever have to stop making knives because it's my passion. After 35 years, I still get excited about doing this. And so it's been a great.
You do that full time? No more farming?
No, I gave that up a long time ago. I'd probably be dead if I was still doing that because it gets real hot down in South Texas in the summer. But and don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the farming. My knife making career and my farming career overlapped one another, and so it just got to where the money wasn't there in the farming, too much risk. And so my brother and I were partners at that time. My dad had passed away, so he went into real estate and I went into knives. And so the rest is history, I guess.
Well, it's sad we lost the farmer, but it's good we gained a knife maker. And you still go to a lot of shows?
Yes, I do. I attend all the blade shows, Atlanta, Blade, Texas, and Blade West, and Salt Lake City. I'm doing Solvang here in a couple of weeks, and I do Nashville, and I believe it's in November. And so that's about my show schedule. So
You're really on the road.
I do. I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy the travel. I enjoy the camaraderie with the. It's about the maker. It's about the other makers and the customers and the friendships you develop. And so that's what drives me to keep doing this. I don't remember where we were.
So how many hours you spend in the shop?
Okay, I usually spend about 8 hours a day in the shop, but about an hour of that's napping. I've got a nice easy chair in my shop, and so about 2 o'clock in the afternoon I take a little break and try to squeeze a 30-minute nap in.
Well, the pro football players, the big muscle guys, they call that a power nap.
Power nap, yeah.
So
yeah.
So the same thing, I guess. And you probably get a lot of best of show or something like that for knives.
I have. I've won the best folder and best of show at Blade Atlanta, which is probably the highest. That's probably where the most competition is. I've won that in 2015, and I've won best of show in a lot of shows, best folders in a lot of shows, and I've kind of got to the point where I quit entering now in order to give my students shots at that stuff. But I don't want to be in their way and in the way of their careers, and so I just I don't have anything to gain by winning those things now. I've already won most of them, so I'm good with that.
And have you been overseas much?
I haven't. I had planned a trip to Australia about the time COVID hit and all that got canceled. I was going to do classes over there and then go to the Sydney show. I've been invited to the Italy show and to Paris, and I just haven't had the opportunities to be able to get over there. I'd love to at some point.
What do you think the collectors look for most in slip joints?
Fit and finish is true with any knife, and there are specific things about slip joints that make them super clean, and that's the things they look for. They look for the back springs to be totally level in every position you put those blades in, and there are things that collectors look. They look, of course, for your blade finishes and your swedge grinds, and there's all kind of things that make a slip joint good or bad, and so that's the things, of course, that they look for.
And for the guys starting out wanting to be a folder maker, you got any advice?
Surround yourself by somebody better than you and see if you can't get them to help you. It'll cut your learning curve down so far that go to all the classes you can get into, go try to get a one-on-one relationship with a maker in your area that's doing it, and that's getting to be easier all the time because there's getting to be more of us, so.
All right, Bill, it's been great, man. Thank you so much, all right?
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Good.